going to give a little bit of a window tour on the complex of the warehouses that are to be coming down. This would be a second video posted on YouTube of this demolition project in northern Louisiana. There's about 1.3 million square feet of warehouse space in this complex. We'll be taking down approximately 750,000 feet of these warehouses for this demolition project and wood salvage project. It's about 110 acres total in the industrial park, which equates to about 35 or 37 acres that's actually under roof in the complex. Many of these buildings will come down, but then there's some that we've been refurbishing and putting new roofs on that will stay in our lease pool and be used for manufacturing and distribution space for years to come. We'll go down to another building and I'll take you inside, and then we'll go to the production facility as well. Some of these older buildings here that are wrapped in the black siding are the ones that were constructed back at the turn of the century. Some of the older buildings in the complex. All right, here we walk into another building. About the same size as the last one we went into. You can see there is no truss work in this building. This is all just flat roof, vertical columns up into those roof bracings. These buildings have been standing here a long time, served a lot of purpose. Originally they were constructed for cotton warehousing. I may have misspoke that on the last video, and then once the cotton market sort of changed, that's as the grain became available, that's when the grain market opened up for this facility. These are 6x8 columns. They run straight up into those 2x8s, which run across, support the flat roof system. Quite a 2x8 structure on up to the 2x6 rafters up above. Come back over to some more of this wall board. This particular wall was put together. This is actually, I was looking at this earlier. It's a solid oak. 1x4. Well, there's a little 1x8. There's a little 1x6. Lots of 1x4, but it's got a really pretty patina to it. Some of this interior wall has been stripped off already, but if you go up to that, that's a full 2x6 hardwood center match tongue and groove that they use for this interior wall. And we get into some pine, and then now we're coming back over to this full 2x6 center match in white oak. A lot of these buildings will have a 4x6 that runs on that angle bracing that goes up and supports out in the middle of the span. These are 2x8s, some 2x10s that they used in this building, but that's where we develop most of our 4x6 is from those angle braces that go out and support that middle span. Oak column. For some reason there was a separate wall built here at one time. I wanted to try to come across some of this gum wood to give an idea of how they do that, what that gum wood looks like. We actually finished some of that material, and boy, it really finishes out nice. This happens to be all oak on these columns. Yeah, here's a piece of circle sawn gum. That's a 6x8 column. Finishes off with some really pretty blue and red streaks. Lots of character to it. Come back over to interior wall. They had switched from what we saw as 1x4 down below. They've switched it up to 1x6 here. It's good solid wood. It shows a lot of water streaking, but again, we do what I consider a pretty good job of cutting out defect. There's a section of the roof that actually has fallen in, so that'll give a good idea of that roof sheeting. They've got some 2x10 pine there, lots of 2x6. There was a black tar paper, and then it was a tar and gravel roof system on it. But when this gravel slides off, like what's at my feet, because of that underlayment, it does allow for that wood to stay fairly clean. You will see some sap or tar bleeding through occasionally, but like this piece is pretty clean, and that shows like a fairly new wood. But then when you come underneath, it's been exposed to these elements for 80 or 90 years, and that's where you start getting the darker patina. Here's one of the 2x8 rafters that's fallen. You can see it's a full 2-inch thickness by 8-inch in width. One more shot of this this system. And we'll go and take a look at some of the packaged units now. All right, the guys are not working today, so it's quiet in here. But basically what we do is take these units by their dimension, 2x4, 2x6, 2x8, 2x10. Everything is unitized by that size. Mixed hardwoods or pine. Pine is separated always from the hardwood. Every unit has an individual piece count, so we know exactly how many pieces of each length are in that unit. It's numbered. That way we can easily keep track of inventories and production. We basically remove any exposed surface nail. Cut out defect. If there is a question on a piece of material, whether or not it should be cut out or not, what we do is mostly pencil trim that. So we'll come in, and if there's a questionable spot, that spot will be left alone, and allow you to make the decision whether or not you can use that wood or not. And so those ends are pencil trimmed out. You don't pay for them, but you get them. These are our 6x8 packages.